Everybody, what's up? It's Burgundy Pyre back again. It's been a little bit since the last video. So today we're gonna go ahead and continue on our path to kill Margit, but I've decided to see just how well we can do just with the standard Uchigatana with the Unsheathed Ash of War, as opposed to going and doing a whole lot of preparatory work. But before we get into that, I just wanted to break down a couple of things just in case you are somebody that's newer to the series or just to Elden Ring. So let's go ahead and take a look at our stats really quick. I think I went through what the end stats are going to be for this character the last time, but when it comes to, we'll just go down the list, right? When it comes to Vigor, usually you want to be around 60, around 55 or higher is pretty much where I feel comfortable, between 55 and 60. Mind, it really just depends upon your build. If you're going to be doing a whole lot of casting or a whole bunch of Ashes of War, then you might want to increase that. But for a melee focused build, we don't really need to touch it. Endurance, you just want to make sure that you are high enough to be able to wear all of your armor with the heaviest set of weapons that you would be swapping to, if you are somebody that likes to do swaps in the middle of combat. Or if not, then just as high as you can in order to be able to get to the poise breakpoint that you want. Generally speaking, I'm not super familiar with 1.07 poise breakpoints, but I like to stay around 101 for a heavier build that's doing a whole lot more melee, and then around 81 for a lighter build that's still doing a lot of melee focused stuff, but it's slower or quicker weapons rather. My apologies. So pretty much just like dexterity builds, builds that are focused on faith or arcane or anything to that effect. And I'll show some of the builds that I've already created in the future just to show like what I've come up with for those. But yeah, around 81, or if you're not really doing anything other than just melee, then 101 is a pretty good place to stop. Strength, that soft caps at around 54 if you're going to be two-handing, or soft cap, hard cap. The hard cap is like much higher, but we don't really need to worry too much about that. But for if you're two-handing, you're just on a pure strength build, then I would recommend going to 54 because that gets you to the cap of 80, which is where really you start losing your returns. Dexterity, I would say if you're on a dexterity focused build, you want to get to at least 60. This one's only going to have enough to be able to use all the weapons that it wants to, because everything's going to be heavy infused and lose the dexterity scaling anyways. Intelligence, faith, both of those you want to stop at around 60 if you're doing a whole lot of melee. If you're going to be doing primarily casting, you want to go as high as 80 with that. And there are some pieces of equipment, most specifically helms, that can help you with getting a couple of stats here or there. But like I said, I'll show the builds that I have and the reasons why at a future date. Arcane, usually you're going to need some other stats, especially if you're casting with Arcane. You're probably going to need some points in faith, because a lot of those arcane incantations and the arcane spells need some points in intelligence as well. They just need some extra effort, I guess would be a good way to put it. So you can't really just push that all the way to 60 or 80 as easily as you would with a dedicated intelligence or faith build. When it comes to the stats that we see on the other side, your stamina doesn't really matter too much. As you can see, well, I'm not in combat right now. Let me go get into combat and you'll be able to see. It doesn't really take that much stamina for you to roll and for you to attack in this game in comparison to some of the previous games in the series. So you don't really need to worry too much about where your stamina number is at. But if you're doing melee, then obviously it's advisable for you to have as much as you can. I don't even know if I don't really want to try to kill you. It's not really worth it, like I said before. Just wanted to show the stamina stuff. But you can see, like, you don't really use that much stamina for rolling, dodging, or attacking for the most part. So you don't want to focus too much on the sheer number of stamina, right? Same thing with focus, like I said before, or magic points. I guess maybe it's FP. I think it's FP. Yeah, focus points. Like I said, you don't really need to worry too much about that. Just if you are a caster, then save some room there. When it comes to the level that you want to stop at, if you are somebody that's doing PvE, you don't need to stop at any point, right? Just keep on trekking through the game, increasing your levels. Try to get to the caps as quickly as you can, and then start working on just fleshing out your build a little bit more once you are comfortable with what you have. I would say increasing your endurance or your vigor just to give you more survivability and more options as well. And then just go from that point. For PvP, there are a myriad of different caps that you can go to with respect to your level. People play at level 60, level 80, level 100. The quote-unquote meta, which is really just relegated to duelists, would be at level 125, rune level 125. I like to be around level 137 because I prefer invasions over duels, and that allows you to meet up with people that are both at level 125 and level 150. Back when the game came out, there was a big debate as to which one would be the meta, and then people started to realize that the vast majority of Elden Ring is controlled by PvEers, and they just level into oblivion, so it doesn't really matter where you stop if you're just trying to create your build and get comfortable with your build. Just keep on leveling and you'll pretty much be able to find somebody at any point, especially since they added the ability to invade in near and far locations, so you can invade the entire game if you so wish. But yeah, let's go ahead and get started towards Margit, and let's see what we can do with an unupgraded Uchigatana. We'll go ahead and warp to the Stormhill Shack next to, I forget her name. I don't want to say Raya. I think Raya is the person with the Volcano Manor, but her here, right here, the one that helps you with all of your mimic tears, your ashes, your spirit ashes, things to that effect. But yeah, let's go ahead and see how we can do with Margit with the unupgraded Uchigatana, and then we'll continue. So, like I said previously, this is going to be a strength-oriented build. I'm not quite sure which weapons I'm going to be using for the entirety of the playthrough. Part of me wants to just use the Great Serpent Spear. I guess it might just be the Serpent Spear, the one that you use to fight, what's his name? Child of Radagon and Renala, sibling to Rani and Radon. I forget his name. Rykard, the Great Serpent, Rykard. So the Great Serpent Hunter, or the Serpent Hunter that you can get in that one, there actually is a way to get two of them at once, so I might show that and use those for the primary focus of attack, or primary point of attack throughout the playthrough. But let's go ahead and take a look at Margit, see what we can do. Like I mentioned in the last video, you don't really need to focus too much on learning all of the patterns of a boss. You can kind of just do like a stick and move. I'm probably not going to stick to that because I know this boss fairly well. Not to say that I won't get hit like that, especially considering I'm using an unupgraded weapon, but let's just see how it goes. A lot of delayed attacks from Margit, so keep that in mind. First time that I fought him was with like I believe a +1 halberd, and my friend and I were actually doing it simultaneously. I'm playing very poorly today. But my friend and I were doing it simultaneously, and it took us both around 30 or so tries just to get him down the first time. So don't feel, discouraged if you are taking a while with a particular boss, because that's what the game is for, right? We like to just see how we improve in these boss fights. But you notice that I'm doing a whole lot of unsheath attacks here because it has a really high attack multiplier. Ouch. Ouch, ouch, ouch. But I am going to have to go back to the standard R1s. I'm probably going to die on this attempt, but it's just a part of the whole process. Let's see, a couple of good attacks there. I'm not too focused on getting a stagger, but if I do, great. But if I don't, let's find. Oh, well, speak of the devil. I want to get as much damage as I can. I tried to get the riposte animation there, but unfortunately I was unsuccessful. I have one flask left. I love when he does the jumping attack because that's a good opportunity to get a hit in with minimal damage cost to yourself. I'm just gonna go ahead and keep on ducking and dodging, bobbing and weaving, see if we can get some damage in if he allows us. This one he's gonna go ahead and do the follow-up. Go ahead and get an unsheath, and that's the last unsheath attack that we're gonna get off because we are out of FP, but it's okay. We'll just see if we can finish him with the standard R1s, R2s. Like I said, I'm just kind of staying back, waiting for opportunities, not trying to be like a PvP or PvE god and countering everything as soon as he throws it. Just gonna, oh, this one's gonna hurt. Yeah, not a PvE god, as y'all be able to tell. I'm already out of heals, actually. It's gonna go one attack when we have the opportunity and run away. And just keep it up like this. And like I said, I do apologize for the delay. A lot of personal stuff happened. I do plan on being much more consistent in the future. dropping at least one video a week, probably around 2 or 3. And it's not just going to be this playthrough, it's going to be a bunch of stuff Elden Ring related. I might go into God of War, I'm not quite certain yet. I'm not the best at God of War. I played the 2018, I believe, release, and I enjoyed the game, but just you're not going to be getting the most skillful gameplay. Kind of like this though. I'm not the most skilled at PvE, obviously, but we'll just see how everything goes as the channel grows. So he's just kind of walking towards me menacingly. Alright, I'll come in. Ouch, 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 ouch. We're probably going to lose because of that. Alright. Let's see what we can do. Mad delays. It's kind of disrespectful how much he delayed that attack. No thank you. Let's see if we can dodge that. We can. You see me doing the crouches. It's just to get my stamina up. I don't recall if I mentioned in the last video. Let's see the hammer. Yes, there we go. Get one attack, and then we're going to get out of here. Nope, he got me. Which is okay. What I'm probably going to do is switch up my flasks so I can use more unsheath, because that's the biggest damage potential that I have at the moment. I'll probably just get one healing flask and the rest with unsheath, or the rest with the it's the blue one. What is it called? Let me see so I can say it. The Flask of Cerulean Tears. I'm not going to remember that. Alright, so we are back from the round table hold. I've changed the allocation of my flasks. Now I have 3 Cerulean Tears and 2 Crimson Tears. Let's see how it goes this time. Let's try to focus in and get him beat pretty quickly. Delays for days. It's okay. We're going to take our opportunities and then run away. Get close, and he's going to hit this and the follow-up, and then we're going to attack right after. Might dodge away. Yeah, I dodged away instead of keeping the aggression. Let's go ahead and get back into his range. I wasn't quite sure if I would get away with that, but it worked out well. That as well. That was just the terrain helping me out there. Which is really cool. I remember in the older games, there's no way that was possible. Just technology's really advanced, and From Software as a company has advanced quite a bit. And I've just been really enjoying their games, all the way from Demon Souls till now, and hopefully going forward. It's kind of ruined a lot of other games for me. Just how good that they are, how consistently good they are. Ouch. Let's get this, and you're probably gonna keep the aggression. Yeah, let me go ahead and heal up. That's one of the 2 flasks that I have. But hopefully we can go ahead and get him taken out here pretty quick. Get one in. Okay, don't panic roll. We know that attack. We dodged it before. Get our opportunity. Get out of here. Try not to panic roll. And here's just the flurry. That was the bane of my existence before. Let's go ahead and take the riposte, so that way we can just recoup our stamina. We'll try to get an unsheath on wake up, see if that goes pretty well. Yep. Get our souls, or our runes, my apologies. Not that big of a deal. There we go. We love it when he does this. Not too hard to time. Ouch. Okay, so we're going to use our last flask here, our last Crimson flask, and see how we do. Good. The follow-ups are crazy with this guy. Let's see if we can bait another attack that gives us a whole lot of opportunity to hit him. Since we are out of heals, there we go. That's what we love to see. One unsheath, get out of there. Don't panic roll. I mean, it kind of looked like it, but I timed the second dodge there. And next time he attacks, we should be able to just flurry on him. We'll do this one, wait for the follow-up, hit him with an unsheath, and then an R1. Since we have enough time, we don't have to worry about a trade. There we go. Not too difficult. And like I said, just put in the time, and it'll become much more comfortable as you continue. Really looking forward to the DLC. A whole bunch of new content. I'm not quite sure which character I'm going to use for that. I might go with maybe a magic build, since this one's going to be entirely melee focused, just to get a little bit of a different or a change of pace rather. Do we have any quick step? We do not have quick step anywhere. So I generally like to go through the front when going through here. Just go through here with some quick step or bloodhound step. I don't know if that'll be super plausible, but we'll give it one attempt. But first we're going to use our runes to level up. And I accidentally clicked the wrong thing, so I was clicking through. But thankfully, we can go ahead and change it. Let's go over here. And we're going to leave Ghost Talk alive. I might, for the first time, continue his quest line which allows you to get a Ancient Dragon Smithing Stone, but I've never done it before, and I'm fairly certain I'll forget on this playthrough as well. But let's go ahead and level up. Let's just put everything into Vigor, because the Uchi Katana is pretty good for the time being. We might want to level up because our damage potential is going to be pretty low against, against Godric, at least in my experience. Let's go here. Yeah, let's go ahead and go straight through one more time. Give it one more shot. If we fail, we fail. We'll just go through the easier path. Alright, that wasn't too bad. There's just so many ballistas firing at us right now. There's actually a bonfire right over here that we can go into, and it looks like we made it safely. Yeah. Go ahead and get this bonfire, or Side of Grace rather. Well, we have an enemy that's decided to join us. Gonna take him out really quick. Rest this Side of Grace, and let's continue. But yeah, like I said, a whole bunch of real life stuff happening, precluding me from being able to just continue the series. Dealing with, starting up the channel, just a lot of the logistics of it. Still have everything else that we have to do on a daily basis that takes priority, obviously, over the YouTube channel. But as time goes on, hopefully we continue to grow and get more comfortable with getting these videos, just getting them slated and getting them put out. Over here to the right, we can go ahead and get this Side of Grace as well. And further on is actually the tower that you would use in order to unlock Godric's Great Rune after defeating him. I'm probably not going to do it because that requires for you to have the Rune Arc activated, and I honestly just forget to activate it so very frequently, and they're kind of rare unless you're going out of your way to look for them, and that's not really something that I plan to be doing. I mean, once you start doing PvP, if that's something that you're into, then you do get them pretty much upon every successful invasion, so they're not a rarity at that point. But I still kind of doubt that I would use them. They also go away when you go to New Game Plus, so in my opinion, it just kind of, I don't want to say messes up, but using a Great Rune, your stats aren't truly what your stats are at, and if you're using Great Runes in PvP, it's generally frowned upon, which is understandable because they have a massive impact on your character stats, to the point to where you can be, with the Godric's Great Rune, 40 levels higher than your opponents. Radahn's Great Rune, something even more dramatic than that, because it does it on percentage for your stamina, health, and I believe your FP. Maybe not the FP, but the equipment load. But like I said, I don't really use the Great Runes too often. There is a statue over there that I'm interested in getting, so I'm going to bring the giant back over here just so we can upgrade some weapons. But it is much easier to use the Somber Smithing Stone path as opposed to the standard upgrade path. So we're probably just going to find a good Somber weapon for a strength build and use that, which, like I said, may just end up being the Serpent Hunter. But not too entirely certain as of yet. It's liquid right now, right? But for this video, we're probably just going to get to Godric, give him a couple attempts, and if necessary, go back and farm just to get some, not even just farm, just picking up the equipment that's necessary in order to upgrade our weapons, some smithing stones. Here's Nefali. We can talk to her really quick. Okay, we're actually doing her harm, and we might be dead here. We'll come back to Nefali. I hate the birds. They're absolutely the worst enemy in the game. There's a golden seed. We can upgrade our flasks. Probably go 3 and 3, honestly, with the cerulean and the crimson. Okay, not very nice. These guys might kill me. Their Stormblade always gives me a bit of trouble. Let's just roll and sprint, crouch. Hopefully the giant doesn't do a ranged attack before I can go into this room. He didn't. Alright, so here we are. The Claw Talisman, which I quite enjoy, is in the Stormville Castle, so we might come back and get that. But right now we're not using anything that requires too many jumping attacks, so we can go without for the time being. But let's go ahead and upgrade our flasks so we can have 3 and 3, and let's see how we do with Unsheath with Godric. I would say Godric's patterns are probably a little bit easier to learn than Margit's. And when I fought him, I actually beat him the first time on my first playthrough, whereas Margit, like I said, took me around 30 or so attempts. But that might have just been luck, and I might embarrass myself right now. We can jump over that. We can jump over that as well, but I went for the unsheath for some reason. It's been a while since I fought him. That was actually pretty quick. Let's go ahead and get this since we didn't have the stamina to do a regular attack before his recovery. We actually have the bleed also working in the background, so hopefully we can get some of that just to get a quick, I think it's 15%, ouch, of the boss's health points taken down. But it does look like 3 unsheaths equals a guard break. We'll just roll back for that. Get out the way, re-up on our blue, and we'll get back into combat. Some opportunities here. He's much slower than Margit, and he's much less punishing, but he does do more damage and he has more health, which I appreciate because it just gives you the different patterns. These are both kind of just getting you, both being Margit and Gardrick, just getting you to the swing of things with Elden Ring. Difficulty does turn up to kind of like 11 as time progresses. But for now, it's not too bad. We'll jump this. Oh, actually, we're out of range already. One interesting thing about Godric is that he actually is emulating a later boss in the game, which is really cool. Like, it gives really just a sense of how big the world is and the fact that somebody this strong is just copying after somebody else. And you see how he's all grafted, as his name indicates. Sorry, I got scared. As his name indicates, this is just his way of getting strength because he is one of the weaker demigods, which, like I said, is really cool. Just showing all the world, and you can see it just as you experience the game. You can actually get that dragon hand that he has there as a weapon, which is cool. You can also get his axe. I might get both, honestly, because I think they might both be pretty decent for a strength build, and I might just use his axe as my somber weapon now that I think about it, because that's something that I've never used, and it might be interesting to use his axe and maybe some other weapon of the similar class and just dual wield those with the claw talisman that I so love. Let's go ahead and get this attack, come back in. But yeah, this is a little bit harder to deal with than his original one because it has a higher or larger AoE, at least in my experience. I may be completely incorrect once he adds the fire, but let's just go ahead and take care of him as much as we can. Let's get out of here, and we have one more opportunity with our blue. Let's see how well this does us. We'll jump that as we close the distance, punish, and get back out of there. And once again, it's this attack. So, oh, actually it's the, oh, never mind. I thought he was going to do the drop down attack with his axe. Close the distance. I got hit. Probably shouldn't aggress there, but we'll see. And once again, this is with an unupgraded Uchigatana, so if you're doing a lot of, farming and exploring, you'll be doing more damage. He would already be dead at this point. You would have more flasks, and we'll probably go to Castle Morn after this just to get all the available flasks and things of that nature, or upgrades for our flasks so that they can do a little bit more every time we use it. But let's see if we can get him first try. That'd be pretty nice, because I don't feel like fighting him again. I honestly would prefer to just lose quickly than to, quote-unquote, learn the boss. No. Let's get out of here. Probably have one more unsheath left that we can use. Punish that. Get out. That's a really delayed attack. The delayed attacks are the death of us all. Don't worry if you're somebody that suffers from that. Hopefully we can just... Oh, nope, we cannot outrun it. I should have closed the distance there. But if we can get him to do another attack that gives a lot of opportunity for punishment, we might be able to take him out. Or not, because we do not do much damage at all without unsheath. Nope, took us out. But the fight went pretty well for the most part. I might get some more blue and go probably 2 and 4 just to use unsheath till the end of the battle. But like I said, dying is a part of the game. As long as you don't let it tilt you too much, you'll be fine. And every single time that you die is just an opportunity to learn the boss a little bit better so you can be more confident. And I completely forgot to change my flask as I was speaking. But that's okay. There are definitely some opportunities that we missed there. Let's be a little bit more aggressive this time, because I don't particularly enjoy when the fight takes super long. Go ahead and attack. We might get a stagger a little bit more quickly with the heightened aggression that we're doing this time around. Actually, we might be able to stagger him there. Get one attack, get the riposte. There we go. We might actually be able to take advantage of the, there we go, the bleed with the heightened aggression. So not Bloodborne-esque, but heightened aggression does help you on certain boss fights. Sometimes it causes you more harm than good. Let's dodge out of the way of this, start facing this way, even though as a host it won't really change too much because you go right back to the predetermined spot. Sprint in, we'll get one unsheath in, another one, got him staggered. We'll go for the riposte since he backed up a little bit on us. We're gonna keep the aggression up so we can get another bleed in. Jump away, or roll away rather, see which one he chooses. There we go, we like that one, it's easier to dodge and we can punish a little bit more easily. Just gonna back up, go ahead and heal for the first time in this fight. Close the distance, we'll do a jumping R1 into another R1. It's a little bit quicker, and let's see what we can do. We're gonna do another slow attack for us. There we go, we love to see it. Get 2 unsheaths in, one more stagger and a bleed, 2 attacks and a riposte, and there he is dead. Or he is not dead. Alright, well, now he's dead. But yeah, some different bosses require different approaches. Like Margit's definitely going to punish you if you take a more aggressive approach to him. Godric not so very much, just because he's slower and his delays are a lot easier to panic roll out of. You can actually get out of the way. You're just going to keep on talking. It takes quite a bit of time. There we go. And there's the great rune that I was talking about in the Remembrance of the Grafted. So like I said, we're probably just going to go ahead and use this axe because that seems like it's pretty fun. It has a nice AoE as well. So if we do get ambushed by a bunch of enemies, we can use that. So let's go ahead and go to the round table hold for the first time. And after I get the axe, I'm probably going to call it for this video. But we'll continue, and I'll probably go ahead and get both of them uploaded back to back. It's my way of apology for the delay, the really, really, really long delay between the first episode and this one. Hello, ma'am. Nice to meet you. You have quite beautiful eyes there. And those, oh, they're bells. Okay, I thought they were skulls for a moment. Yes. Elden Lord, 2 fingers, all of this. Can I use the remembrance, please? Please? And it's also valuable to remember that you do need to come back and speak to her so that you can, 34 and 22. So we are going to need to respec because I do not plan on having 22 dexterity for the final iteration of this build. But like I was saying, it is important to remember to go back to her after you get your second great rune, or yeah, great rune, just so you can get the second talisman pouch. But like I said, we're gonna go ahead and cut it off here. Hope everybody has a fantastic rest of your day. Please like, comment, and subscribe for the videos, help the channel grow, and I'll be back before you know it. Bye.